Okay, so YBS, Yorkshire Building Society, founded what year? I don't know. You looked it up.
1864.
1864. I started in 1865.
Right.
We've been using IWS or Maestro since 4.1. So we've had a long relationship with it over the years. We run about 1.3 million jobs a month, so we're not massive. That's across our production and non-production environments. And we have 5 domains now.
Yes, 5.
Yeah. We've got 3 development domains where we do our play work. We've got a non-production and then ultimately production. About 120 FDAs, I think.
The cost of 5 is probably around 108.
We're very traditional. Job streams and jobs. We don't tend to use plugins. If we need something out of the box, we're going to script it. We've got good scripting skills. We've got good command line skills, which has served us well over the years. And at the moment, we are still using Horizon Web Admin. Out of support 2 years ago. We've finally bitten the bullet, and Web Admin will be gone by June 2026. So the last 6 months, we started getting to grips with DWC. We have our frustrations. We have our enhancement requests, some of which appear to have already been thought about. So we're a little more pleased. At the moment, we're going down the dashboard route and data source queries. We are bringing our ops back in line with standard ways of operating. They've all drifted into their own little ways. We're losing experience. We've got newbies on the pitch. It's becoming a struggle. So we're having a reset. They will have a dashboard and it will be fixed. They won't be able to see any data source queries. That is what they get.
It's good to know as well, Jet, everybody in the room, so Liz as well. We're actually on DWC 10.2.5. So we've heard quite a lot of UI enhancements in this room. We've all been through looking at each other, giving it, and that's one of the bugbears of what we're at. So we're not here to kill or to trample all over DWC. We really were. We thought Web Admin was a brilliant product, and so we are moving towards DWC now. But we found kind of usability problems. We thought, more than the difficulty, multiple clicks where you think, why do that kind of thing? Yeah, so there's quite a number of frustrations. Maybe our learning side, because there's probably people in this room who use DWC a lot longer than we have, but it might not be as well. But you might have the same similar complaints, frustrations that we have as well. So we thought we'd just bring it to this forum to discuss it.
Yeah.
If that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we've had discussions in the past around our frustration 2 years ago, maybe, I don't know, a long time ago. But obviously now we're starting to use it in anger and expecting to hand it over to our ops, who they've also grown with Web Admin. Obviously, we have to make sure that we get everything right, and so our ops, can use it rather than just go, what's this? So there's a learning curve for us, which we've gone through. We were pinning our hopes on Orchestration Monitor because we use a lot of complex filters. So that is starting to come to life. Just what I said there, you see. Next slide, please.
When you say complex filters, what are examples?
If we take our critical path into consideration, we'll have 20, 25 job streams. Our ops within Web Admin, one filter, all the job streams, all there, visible. Obviously, in DWC, we can't do that. They're all individual. We can with Orchestration Monitor now.
You can do it with just use workload assurance. Boom, done.
How is that?
You mark the last job critical, and it monitors everything prior to it. And when you click on it and then click what if, it'll visually show you all 25 streams, all the connections, where they're at, how they're running.
Yeah, that's the Gantt chart view.
Yeah.
But we've never gone down that route. We started looking at using critical, but it's so erratic, shall we say. we have jobs that take 2 minutes one day, 58 minutes the next day. We immediately go red across the board because we're not going to hit the deadlines. So we've come back away from that and then looking at a traditional way of using DWC as we would with web admin. So maybe that's a learning, something to learn at ASAP. We can take that away. You know, what we're saying is there's a lot cleverer people in the world than what we are, and are we using the product, you know, to the best of its abilities? Possibly not.
Well, I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. You know, using workload assurance may not be the right tool, but
it's another avenue. Yeah, and we're not precious around. You know, we're hoping to come today and suddenly go, we're doing this, and go, well, that's a marvelous idea. We'll adopt that, and we'll throw away potentially throw away what we've already done. But we've got to a point now where what we've put together is I feel I can hand over to ops and go, this is what you're going to be using, and not have total resistance. You know, how do I find this? How do I find that? So,
but the counter argument is that if you've got a user that's been using this for 30 years and they're unsure, are we exploiting everything that we need out of this? Are we doing it the right way? Then that shows that the interface is not as intuitive as it should be.
Absolutely.
In order for people to get it. Absolutely. So if you've got users that have been using it for as long as Darren, what happens to new users? So those people that are coming across from BMC, AutoSys, Automic, Tidal, all of those things, which are all happening at the moment, the struggles that they've got are exponentially greater than Darren's seeing. So how do we make sure that they have a better user experience moving forward?
Absolutely.
And part of that is the product, part of it is the documentation. It's all of those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
okay, so that's obviously the traditional D workload dashboard. One of our frustrations with this, we've also moved away from this, and we've now got engine-based dashboards.
Yep.
Because you can multi-select on workstations or jobs, sorry, but you can't do it on workstations. So if you have multiple engines clicked here, you can't select available workstations. It'll say not supported for multiple engines.
Oh,
Jobs are, job streams are. So I think one of the one of our frustrations is just make them all for all. So it may be my OCD that I'm saying, well, I can't do workstations, but I can do job streams and jobs, so forget that. So we've now moved to engine-based boards. So our ops can. I mean, we have
one dashboard for each engine.
one, yes, yeah, and the backup master as well. So I also have a bit of a fear of our ops seeing test and live in the same view and cancelling jobs that, you know, job 10 in test or job 10 in live, let's cancel job 10, but accidentally choose live. So, you know, it's like to segregate them as well. Yeah, so we moved away from that. So we've gone to our traditional boards, or engine-based boards.
You go to the next slide.
So there we have web admin, which we've used for many years. Obviously, we have bitten the bullet. It is going, but we do find a lot of things in web admin easy to do. Example, the other day I had about 15 jobs in a job stream with an app time, and I wanted to delete the app time. So I select the jobs, tick the delete dependencies box, tick the app, all gone. DWC, that's taking me 5 minutes. Going in each individual job, finding the app time and clearing the field, saving. You know, it takes time. But web admin's going. Let's forget web admin now. So what we've done is created that engine-based dashboard there. So that's our MDM. Now, to get round complex filtering, what we've done for our critical path is we created that top line of critical paths part 1 through 5. And what happens at 5:45 in the evening, each of those widgets is looking at a range of priorities, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, so on and so forth. So what we do at 5:45 is we monitor, we change the priorities on our key job streams into a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50 and a 60. So what our ops see through the night is that critical path part 1 goes 0 and green 8:45. And then the focus then moves on to critical path part 2. So they can track where they are in the critical path, and those boxes should be going green and 0. Now, we also have an external progress board that works on deadlines. So our operators, because ideally, we don't want them looking at DWC unless they need to for an event. So we have a mechanism in the background that's tracking those types of job streams. And if that deadline job breaches, so we have deadlines on progress jobs, not on anything else. So when that progress job 1 reaches its deadline, that sends an event up into ServiceNow and creates a trigger for our ops to. They will then come to DWC, critical path part 1, because it's 8:30, and in there will be the problem area. So they click on that and it's at the fingertips. Because we don't show successful there, show me job streams that are not successful by that point. So our ops will move through those critical path sections through the night, and that gives them an area of focus if, when there's an issue, they're not having to go off and find something. Obviously, there will be other things where they want to go and find, and they'll go into monitor workload and find it that way. So, these are predetermined sections that they need to focus on. Obviously, there's other events, they need to go out and find that anyway. So we've got all the traditional stuff. You've got your workstations available, not available, ops wanting to see prompts. We've got obviously job events, we've got jobs at priority 0, job streams at priority 0. I think everything on that board, with my experience, is what ops need to monitor. This is for ops and for us guys, because we're not skilled in DWC at all yet. But that is for ops overnight, quick areas of focus for them to use. One thing they've requested this week is when they submit a job on the fly, DWC, it gets submitted, you've then got to go and find it. If they submit a job, an ad hoc job, you've then got to go and find it through monitor workload. Yeah. So we've created a widget now that's just got for the job streams. So any ad hoc jobs on the fly, they've got a widget now to go straight to it rather than having to go into. Because one of the challenges is in workload monitoring, finding what you need to find. Multiple clicks to get in there rather than at your fingertips. In web admin, when you submit a job, it takes you straight to it. Those sort of, those sort of things that frustrate us. So, do you want to move on to the next one? So, what our ops should see? Do we not have the?
Oh no, we haven't got the.
We've not got the next slide.
No,
Right. Okay. So, one slide that we did put together was that top row is all green and 0. So our ops know.
Everything's good.
Yeah. So, should we move on now to the next one?
Yeah.
So, we had a bit of a brain dump. I've had a Word document festering away for a couple of years, keep adding stuff into it. We discuss it, and it's finally come to. We had a discussion with Provo, and he said, "What are your top 5 annoyances?" So I sent you 22, was it? and that was being conservative.
That's condensed.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I can't not send this, and I can't not send that. So we came to this. We came to the conclusion, and we had discussions within the team, heated debates within the team about what should be on there and what shouldn't be.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah. And obviously we came to this. It then went outside for a customer poll, which then brought it into this ordering of priority. And obviously we've got at the top is changing the column defaults out of the box. I want to be able to see, for me and for our ops, I want to be able to see what command gives me when I do a show jobs or a show schedule. So I'm within those widgets that we showed before, I've gone into the properties and changed all the columns around and all this. And then it's fine for the widget, but then as soon as they go into job streams and then jobs, it's back to default.
Yeah.
And it annoys the hell out of me.
And it used to be there.
That is not going to happen, the application model. Because we are going to drill down from a job stream to a job. The settings that will be applied to that job will be the ones that you select.
Exactly. Again, it's back to that, not the default view, but preferred view, shall we say. So it's the next level. Your default can be, that's fine, but then we want to apply a preferred view to a role potentially, as we mentioned.
I get just answer as well. I can't understand why the developers never actually use the same column layout as Conman. You know, you've actually changed it from the default Conman, you know, in the headings and the limits and that kind of stuff. Yeah, you've actually you've got them and kind of changed them around a bit. Yeah, and I just thought, sure, the easy thing was just wherever Conman is at SC, do a Conman SC. Yeah, it's the same number of columns in the right order, what you'd expect it from a Conman command, yeah, and DWC. But that's
But it's come from job scheduling console, hasn't it? So we looked at job scheduling console and went, wow, I don't know how many years ago, it's lots of years ago. And that's why we purchased web admin, because it was like G Maestro, G Command, G Compose. So, but again, that's by the by. But yeah, it's that default view of which we want to see for our operators and for us across the board. Carried forward job streams.
it's in the next slide.
No, see this.
No, it'll be.
How do we see carry forward job streams? Because you can't put plus carry forward tilde state equals suck. I want our operators to tick that tick. I don't know, you mentioned lots of carry forward job streams. We don't. We only have last night in the carry forward. There's odd exceptions where they might span a few days. But we build a 24-hour plan. We expect everything to be done by 7:59 in the morning. And if not, I want our ops to be able to see just carry forward.
You mean you don't have a filter for doing that?
Not easily.
Okay.
You have to put the date in. So we've created a widget,
Not easily until then it's
Yeah.
but still, you're still putting the date and time in there.
That's our comment.
You're still putting the date and time in there.
You're still putting the date and time in.
So for our carried forward not success widget, it's got the date ranges. I have to go into data sources every day and change the date. I'm talking to my Oracle DBA around running some SQL to update that range. Just give us plus carry forward tilde state equals success, like we can do on command line.
Well, you could save a query with the filter on the carry forward, which we have now, and also the information in columns, so I showed before. And when you open that save query, you just need to change the date, not the time.
I don't want to have to change the date every day.
Because you're really interested in the last nights of the
But
last
we
night.
have,
Yeah,
it might be
yeah.
different for other people. But because we have a 24-hour plan, 7:59 is our boundary. That's something carrying forward into the next day.
So anything prior to 7:59, I would say period. End of story.
So so we should say not successful with that date and time stamp on now. That's the data source. I have to change the data source, or say to our ops, when you click the widget, go up and change the date and then do run.
It should be dynamic, a dynamic date.
If a today keyword would be ideal.
Well,
Or-
we are also starting to address this type of requests because we recently introduced the AIS for the OQL queries. AIS, which define actually something which is then processed by the master. So maybe we're going to use the today AIS, which actually already define the time range of today without the need to specify.
Yeah, the times can stay the same. It's the dates that are the variable. Point 3. Now we believe this might be fixed in 10.2.6.
Yeah, we'll come on to this. It was part of the,
Yeah.
the next
So
slide, but yeah, I guess the thing to say is of your original 22, we did manage to rationalize it a little down to 19. And those are the ones shown on the slide. We're not going to go through them all. But what we did was we created a survey in Microsoft Forms, and we sent it out to a number of the UKI customers that come along to this user group. And we had responses from both UK and Irish customers. I know it went to Lloyd's and to JLP and Barclays and lots of other customers as well. And we had anonymized responses. So those of you who want to still participate and take the survey, you can either do it via your phone using the QR code, or the URL if you're going to do it from your laptop. But we sent this out with those 19 questions, and we gave people the option to say, do you see this in terms of getting it fixed as high priority, medium, low priority, or no priority? So not interested, don't want to see it. And so those were the 4 options against each of the 19 questions. And yeah, the answers that came back are anonymized. We don't know who sent it. In Microsoft Forms, it just comes back and says an anonymous user has sent you an email with the results, and it consolidates everything into a spreadsheet once you've got them all back. So yeah, we have 30 responses, and once we've got those 30, we sent them across to Marco and Gabriele so that they could take a look as well. So that, you know, we weren't going to spring it on you today.
They were all anonymous except Nigel's ones.
Yeah, you know which one's Nigel sent. Yeah.
that's not just to this survey, that's across the board.
Yeah. So this is the survey results against the 19 questions. So which ones came out as high priority, medium, low, and no priority? So in order to rank the questions, we assigned 4 points for high priority, 2 for medium, 1 for low, and 0 for no, so that we could see how many points each of these questions got. And you can probably tell from just this bar chart alone that, you know, the first 3 or 4 questions were, you know, highly scored by those that responded. We should have muddled up the questions, shouldn't we? So that it wasn't, because all the ones you had to start with were the ones that were a real pain in the backside.
People have given up by question 9. So
Yeah.
what is he on about now?
But I think this is a great set of results. It actually shows what us as a group, as the UKI user group, think of the questions and the priorities for them. Okay. And now we'll go on to the second part.
Can we just go back to that, to the questions?
Number
Slide 7.
Slide 7, yeah.
Yeah.
At times, they are a dependency. You guys don't think they are? Whenever you say show dependencies on a job.
Something in the product itself, those are not showing a dependencies.
Yeah, at times to us is a dependency.
In fact, on the mainframe, it's referred to as a time dependency.
Yeah, it is in common. Yeah,
It is in common, yes.
You do a DDJ. Okay. It's a dependency. In DWC, you have to go and find it on both job streams and jobs. Okay. It's a dependency. Thank you.
Right. So the hell is going on here?
presenter view on the main monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't.
Yeah, can you not get to that, then 2 arrows up at the top, look, where it says swap displays?
No, can't.
You need to move your cursor onto the other screen.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's-
the difficulty. I can't.
Okay.
Swap displays. Swap displays.
There we go.
Hey.
So, yeah, as you can see, the first 4 questions, and then question 9 and 10 were the top 6. And they were changing the column defaults, easier view for carry forwards, so on and so forth. We'll go through these one by one. So what does it actually mean? Because I think some people didn't respond to the survey because they didn't understand the question, which is understandable. You know.
Was it in Yorkshire?
Pardon?
Was it in Yorkshire?
No, it's not that. It's just that, you know, the level of knowledge that you have is greater than most people. So I did have a couple of email responses saying, thanks for sending us the survey. This is far beyond what we're using the DWC for today, so we're not going to respond, which is fine. Okay. So come on. There we go. So I'll hand back. We won't do the we won't look at it in the DWC. I don't think we've got time, but if you'd like to explain what this means.
So this is going back to creating widgets and customizing the columns within those widgets so they look what we're used to. We are about to just say, let's just let it do its thing and we get used to it. But now orchestration monitors coming along, that's where we're going to be putting that focus in now.
We are not going to fix this. We are going to attach the dashboard to the orchestration mode.
Yeah.
That's the
That's the
vision.
next
That's
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So this is us trying to force DWC to show us stuff that we traditionally like to see. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's that in it. But it's back to that preferred view. But this is within DWC stroke widgets, whereas we've now got orchestration monitor.
Yeah, so this is workload monitor going in, changing the columns. Once that display is closed, you go back in and it's gone back to defaults.
Not within the widget because it's saved within the widget.
Yeah.
But if you do it on monitor workload
Mhm.
outside of the widget, yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's going to be fixed.
No, on the monitor.
Not in monitor workload, but in
The orchestration.
The orchestration monitor. The orchestration monitor. It's already fixed because you can save the columns that you want.
yes, but
Again, that's on an individual user where we understand.
It's
As an
not
individual
associated
user, yes.
to a role or something like that.
The two future announcements that I can see here is the first is to connect the widgets and dashboard to the orchestration monitor. Second one is the one we were brainstorming before. So trying to have some default view, some default settings to apply to a specific role, the operator's role or the administrator's role or something like that. That way you could have those default columns associated with the users to specific roles. And of course, the widgets will redirect to the orchestration mode.
Yeah, so for the
It's
orchestration.
coming, isn't it? It's coming.
It's coming, Marco will answer that.
On the orchestration monitor, it's in roadmap certainly. This one probably can have a higher priority for other things. But yeah,
The first point for me it's very high. It's very top priority. Connecting the orchestration monitor to the widgets.
yeah.
It will address partially your need.
Yeah.
Then we have the other announcement, but the first step is connecting to the orchestration monitor.
Okay, so orchestration monitor saved as a data source
Yes.
so that you can then use it within a dashboard.
In fact, when you save a query from the orchestration monitor, you have a drop down with a single entry. Why? Because the second entry that you will see in the future is saved as a data source, not
Right.
as a query task, but as a data source. We already had that in plan. It came out because of time. What?
That's in Monitor Workload today.
That's in my
Yes.
work today, and we also had ported for the orchestration model. We didn't make it time to include that, but it's there. It is already designed.
Yeah, because you've got the saved as data source within the workload monitor. We'll have the same thing within
Exactly.
the orchestration monitor. Okay. And I take it the workload dashboard will then change as well to use the orchestration monitor rather than the workload monitor.
Sorry, again?
The workload dashboard, because that's the first thing most administrators use when they go into the DWC.
Mhm.
They'll use the distributed workload dashboard, and
And
today that goes down to
monitor
workload.
and in the future will go.
and in the future
Yeah.
that will go to
So
perfect.
essentially, Monitor Workload is going to go, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's going to be Orchestration Monitor.
In time,
Yeah, yeah,
it will.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that's the first one, and it's going to be fixed.
Enhanced, it's not.
Yes. Yes.
So again, does it need an RFE to track it then, or is it already an RFE, or is that already in, what do we call that in the plan? Do we know if there's an RFE or an idea, or?
It's in the backlog to complete the vision on the orchestration monitor. Because the orchestration monitor, we still need to include some actions, we still need to include some announcement, and
Okay.
we have to connect the orchestration monitor to the dashboards. So it's in the backlog for the future.
Future means around in the next 12 months.
Yeah,
I would say.
That's why.
It is. Yeah. We're going in order in terms of the top 6. That was number 1.
Questo è della data.
So
Carry forwards, obviously, we've explained
Yes.
previously.
Yeah,
That's-
I understand.
do we need an RFE for that?
Maybe. It's useful also to track it.
Okay.
To push it.
Yeah, and to boost.
So we'll raise an RFE for that today then.
Also, while you're thinking about doing that, publish it across the group, you get more people to vote for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll publish it on the ASAP group as well, and get more people to vote for it.
It's one of the things that Nigel's.
He's got a big list.
Yes.
Got a suitcase.
You got suitcase, yeah?
20 children.
I'm hoping, Nigel, one of the morning sessions, we're going to push raising, I think they're now called ideas instead of RFEs.
Yes.
But the idea of raising ideas and then publishing them and getting a lot of people to say, oh yeah, I want that as well. Because that really does help in getting them delivered.
Yes. Often when we need to prioritize, we look at the votes, of course. If one requirement is one vote, has very little possibilities.
I know that.
Because we have hundreds.
Got a lot of RFPs.
Yeah.
The problem is not our bad will, but it's because we have hundreds.
Yeah.
And we need to prioritize those that have more votes.
Yeah, and that's where you power up the user groups.
Yes.
Is
It's the community that's driving this.
Mm.
Is there typically a number?
Excuse me?
Is there typically a number? So if you get 5 votes, 10, 50,
Mm.
what's the kind of
The
Threshold.
No,
threshold.
don't.
No.
To be honest, Provo, if there's more than one, it makes it important because it's not just one person's interpretation on the product.
Yeah.
If another customer said, "Oh yeah, that will be useful to me as well,"
Yeah.
it helps you realise, hey, maybe there's something in this.
Yeah, but we have requirements with maybe 40, 50 votes.
Mhm.
So obviously,
Yeah.
we look at those more,
Well, yeah,
at least more for a higher priority. Not, we look at all of them.
Okay, we'll raise the RFE and everyone in this room will be getting an email. Please vote. Okay, so that's the carry forwards. Next one is the at times.
Again, at times to us is a dependency.
Okay, this
Let's
is,
show it.
I'm not arguing about, the theory, but I understand. So, because there is a show dependency specific command, and that's not part of it, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not visible on.
So the requirement here is to consider the time dependency as dependency.
So I've got a job in Hall.
But this is
I've got
not
dependency.
so much at UI level.
But which is the goal? I
It
mean,
might have an at time.
the goal is to remove quickly that dependency.
Well,
No, to see it.
To see it.
See it.
yeah,
But-
because
But the ultimate goal would.
Yeah, exactly.
Why it's not
No.
part in the job,
Let's
yeah.
try to test the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Because to see it is just a way to reach the ultimate goal, which is to remove it.
because you want to know why a job is not started.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you look at
You
all
can
the
see
dependencies.
It's not there. It's not there.
And one of the dependencies is the time dependency, because if that is not matched, it doesn't start.
No. But you can't,
it
you
makes
can't
sense.
easily see it. You've got to go into properties to show.
But
Makes
the,
sense.
the
but
show,
it's
the
going
show
to be-
dependency is a command that is based on something that is saved in the plan, right? On the symphony.
Yes.
So that is more an engine requirement than a
That's what
UI
I was trying to
requirement.
tell you. I mean, I understand the need, but this could be a big change on the engine side to show that type of information as a dependency.
It's there on
try to
command line.
prefer to understand how to achieve the ultimate goal. I mean,
It's
rather
like
than-
two mixing two queries, basically. So after the standard dependency, you need also to query if they have a time dependency. Or
What's
something like
stopping
that.
this job running? What is stopping this job running? That's the question that needs to be answered.
Yeah,
Time
But
dependency is one of them.
If I remember correctly, we have that type of functionality. Why a job does not run on the module workload? We have
It's in the old.
But I don't want to have to go and find it. I want to see it.
What?
I don't want to have to go and find it. I want to see it. It's there in
Type
command.
of other, any type of,
anyway, this is understood. We need to think about the way to
how to
resolve
properly
it.
address that. because,
Yeah.
So this needs an
showing
RFE as
that,
well.
Yeah,
Showing
certainly.
that as a dependency might not be the right way to address it.
As long as we can make it visible, that's.
Okay, so that's 2. Next one. We think it's fixed anyway.
The order of things is random. Now, we believe it might be fixed in 10.2.6.
Yes.
We had a share screen the other day and we didn't see the behavior being exhibited. But in 10.2.5, I've got job streams. Let's say we had 3 days worth of job streams carried forward, all the same job stream. The oldest one's position 3, the newest one's position 2. But then I look again, they're in a different order. And jobs within a job stream, if you rerun something multiple times, you don't know which one's which. Because they are not in order. You might have your failure as the last one, your second rerun as the third one. It's, you know,
There is a fix in 10.2.7 that my customer found in 10.2.2 in that same area. So
I
10.2.7.
think that's the sched date column, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas this is a job, so
Oh, okay.
it's a job within a job stream,
Okay.
and we might have had 10 failures.
Yeah.
But they're in a random order, so I don't know.
So there's an actual start time.
Well, you have to then, yeah, but then you have to go and,
Yeah.
it should be in the order that they ran it. That's the basic output from Kanban. But it appears to be, like say, post-processed, and in a random order, but may well be fixed in 10.2.6. So, but we'll have 10.2.7 tomorrow, so.
Can I just quickly screen share? Because that was something I was going to talk about in the last slide. I present, but then we went to lunch. The show run instances, which is a functionality that has been included in the orchestration model. That new view actually provides you. Okay.
No, you need to. It says I'm not sharing, but I am. Oh, I know what it is. Look at that. No, look at that. There we go.
Okay, so now we have the show rerun instances where all the rerun instances are grouped and listed.
Why do all the other jobs disappear?
What?
Why do all the other jobs disappear?
The old job.
We're left with, I want to see all the jobs in that job stream. I've played with it.
No. The old jobs is there.
I know, but, okay, so traditionally, you rerun a job, you see that rerun, you see the number of failures before it, that's basic output. Indeed, you will only see the last iteration. You have to then go and click show rerun instances, but then you lose sight of everything else in that job.
No. The logic is that. In the main table, you get the latest data of the latest rerun. So the latest rerun will be shown here.
I want to see all instances.
And that's where you get the show rerun instances.
Yeah, but then I lose sight of everything else that's in the job stream. I don't know what its predecessors are. I don't know what its successors are. I have to then go back, untick, to get back to that default view.
You get those information.
I do for that job.
For
that job, yes. But any successors, I now can't see.
You just want to see everything.
I want to see everything, yeah,
In
exactly.
one view.
Yeah.
Have you tried the job stream view? Have you ever tried the job stream view?
Yeah, it's not workable for us, I don't think.
I think that is going to be, because I know what you mean if you got your name in. You can't see it if it's none of it. So you can pop it in.
It's click, go find something, whereas I wouldn't it at my fingertips.
Yeah,
I can't
like
manage it.
people back when
We can influence it. It's easy. So my first experience
Yes,
of rerunning something through orchestration on it, I didn't think the rerun had worked. And then I have to go and look at the time and go, actually, the time's been updated. Then I find
that we shift logic. I mean, in the monitor workload, all the reruns were there inside the main page.
It's the semicolon all keyword is fluid on the query, the data source query. So I've been working with the ops and everything.
Yeah, the show rerun instances.
Yeah, so it's there in.
And they were there in the main query. Now we shift logic, and we basically separated those type of information in a separate view.
But the issue for me is I lose sight of everything else.
That's where the job stream view comes into play. But I think
How many clicks do I have to get that? It's like you're hiding information from me and then forcing me down a different route to go find it.
I think it's going back to the intuitive side of it, yeah, how the actual product's running with us, yeah. You can't, the information's there, we just have to dig at it to get it out where.
And I want to know if a job's failed 10 times and then worked on the 11th.
And then it release the next job, or is that it?
I need to know what's happening next.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next slide, there is a question online from Sarah Stevens. Sarah, would you like to unmute and ask the question?
This is just taking me back to just take me back to when we were years ago when we were going from 8.6 to 9.3. Things like fence. I mean, we went through what everything you're doing now because we weren't using web admin. And little things like the fence not being a default used to frustrate me, but not enough to make an RFP about it, but I should have done.
Okay, but it looks as though it can be done in the.
Yeah, it's not default again. I mean, it's not yet default one, but it can be added. And once you perform this one-time configuration, it will always be there.
But again, that's just for individual users, isn't it? So your user will have it, but for like people in operations.
Yes.
Because at the time, I mean, it's because we were trying to do similar at 9.3, have dashboards for like the standard checks that our ops team would do. But we give in the end because things like fences, just checking fences being high was one we wanted to put on there, and we just couldn't do it. I mean, that's a few years ago now, and I've changed roles and companies since, and I'm on a little version, but so I haven't gone back to it. But
So it's a separate, it's a different example, but the same.
Yes, same principle. Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Presumably we've been through quite a bit of this, haven't we, Susan? Because I mean, I remember when we went from web admin to DWC, we had a lot of frustrations, didn't we?
Yeah. And it's only when you start again and people talking about it, it just brings it all back in.
Well, the horrible is that we've got risk disclaimers. We're running a product that's 2 years out of support, but we just haven't got there yet. So, but we are now. It's gone. No more mentions of web admin. So again, my OCD kicking in. I like all my ducks in a row or in a column. I want to place a widget bottom right, but because there's only one, I've got a row of 5 and 3 rows of 4. That widget wants to jump up to the top. I want to be able to place it where it needs to go.
Or if you want to do a workflow, the dashboard seems to be rows and columns. Every time you add a new one, it'll put it in.
You have to have the right numbers of ducks in a row to be able to get it into that. Because we've got the critical path, and then we've got some workstation rows, and then we've got some job stream rows, and then some jobs rows, and then some preferred widgets. But I've only 4. Let's say I've only 4 jobs widgets, and I create this new job stream widget for our ops. It's jumping up onto my workstation row. I just want to be able to place it and it stick.
That seems more like a deal to me, but depends on the scenario. I mean, I'm not sure if the widget is behaving correctly because it's not finding enough space to be placed, and then the other widgets are shifting because that's automatic. So they are creating space for the widget.
It's like my iPhone screen when I want to move a widget to a particular place and I have to fight it.
Yeah, the dashboard appears to be rows and columns. So when you add a new widget, you can put it into a particular place. But if you want it to be slightly off from that, it can't do it. It'll snap back into.
Yeah, if you want to put it on the bottom row, it's going to jump up to the next available space.
Exactly, the next available space. That's the logic.
Yeah. But if say you've got a set of job streams that's mapped against a workflow, a business process, an application process, something like that, you want the flexibility to be able to create the dashboard in a similar fashion. So your line of business can look at it and go, yeah, I understand because I know that's how my business flow goes.
No, absolutely. I mean, again, it seems more deep to me, but I need to check because with dashboards, we really provided the flexibility to place any widget in any size anywhere in the dashboard. So if you're having this behavior, either is following the logic of the widgets, which okay, where we are placing me, there is not enough space, and that you can track with the shadow of the widget when you move it.
Yes,
the shadow. You can track that. The shadow will show you where you are going to place that. If there is no space there, of course, it's going to rearrange in a way where the space can be found. But that's the logic behind
If
it.
I make that last widget slightly bigger, it's not. It's going to stay where it is because there's no room for it to go on the other columns potentially.
yes, but that's a workaround.
No, it is a workaround. Yeah. But just be able to stick them to where. I like the rows and the columns,
Okay.
but I want my rows to be.
My suggestion is still don't look at the widget you're dragging, look at the shadow of the widget, because that is showing you where it is going to be placed. So if maybe the widgets you're placing, it's correctly placed, but the shadow behind that is overlapping with the widgets, you will end up in that type of situation.
I mean, they're all the same size, so I'm not sure that that's the case.
Okay,
What
so
you want is a blank space, isn't it? The ability to have a blank space and then put it where you want it. And it doesn't want to give you that blank space. It says, no, I'm going to go fill that blank space with your next widget.
I think in the middle of the text there's magnetic snap point, so it's already there. Click the button, it's straight there. So
okay, so this is one we'll follow up afterwards. Okay. And then the sixth one is one that we discussed yesterday as well. So text-based definition for jobs and job streams.
The monitoring
Yeah, I mean, we talked yesterday, you were talking about it being in the workload designer, but there is a view job or job stream already there. When we discussed it, it was putting it actually into the monitor side of things. So would it be better to be able to select something and have a button that says?
Yeah, but I don't get why you want
What
to
is
see
the reason to have
definition
this
from
in
the
text format
monitoring.
in the monitoring
So,
rather than in the modeling?
In properties, it's very hard to follow the flow of what is in the job stream. Whereas, okay, we're coming from a composer shop, so we understand the text-based definition of the job stream. So you can't see in your properties within your job stream what the flow of jobs is. We want to be able to read and go, right, okay, job 10 follows 5 and 7. Whereas you
That
can't.
is solved with the job stream view. That you need to absolutely
again,
start to use the job stream.
Again, I'm having to go outside of where I'm working.
It's not outside, just another tab. You can switch between the tabs. You are not losing the context of the monitoring because the job stream view is open in another tab. So you can just switch between the toes, having the table visualization and the graphical visualization, which would resolve this one to show the flow in a graphical level, which is also why we are providing the graphical designer. Because in the workload designer, we have, let's say, the table view. On the graphical designer, we will have the graphical view, which is easier, as you are saying, to follow the. Sorry, not you are saying, but it's easier to follow the flow, and also would help you in case of data run instances. So I definitely suggest you to start using the job stream view to solve those type of cases. You can switch between the tabs, having the context of the monitoring, what you're monitoring on one tab and the job stream view on the other, they will work together.
Again, it's that all the time.
But what I can't understand from your point there is you say you want to be able to see the text base from there, but that would be another thing that you're going to look at. How is that different from?
It'd be a pop-up box in the same window that you're working in, as properties would be, or.
Right, okay.
So it's there, visible.
Oh, so over the top of.
Yeah, so it's an overlay that you.
Can you get job
That's similar to like job scheduler. If you're looking at job chains and job scheduler, you just right click and look at show configuration, and it shows you the text base of it. It'd be nice to have something similar like that in TWC.
There's a lot of,
I know that I get calls from a lot of customers that are asking pretty much the same thing. The reason that they want to do that is there's one job that hasn't run yet. It has 25 different dependencies, time dependencies, file dependencies, all these kind of things. And they want to try to understand what's going on. And looking at it in a text file format makes it easier for them to go check it off, going, yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes. Looking at it through here, it does, you know, the dependencies go away when they've been resolved. You don't know if that other stuff is done. You don't know where you're at. Where if you have the text format, you know, yes, yes, no, no, yes.
Well, they're being resolved anyway, aren't they? But it's
Yeah, I said that they're being resolved,
Yeah.
but the point is, you know that, oh, sales is finished. Oh, the update banking hasn't, you know, and you know the jobs because you created them. And it tells you where you're at based, you know, if you look at the text file. If you're looking at the screen, the dependency goes away. You don't know, you can't remember, did you actually make that a sales dependency or not?
Was it there?
Yeah, was it there or not? It makes it easier to resolve issues in the middle of the night when you're groggy and people are yelling.
I mean, job stream view, yes.
Not job stream view.
Yeah, the job stream view, because job stream view.
Oh,
you
job
get
stream
the-
view will do that too because it
You
shows
get,
it
you
done.
get the tracking, you get,
Yep.
this job has completed is green, this job has completed is green, so you get all the tracking, it's a live monitoring,
Yep.
it's basically like the table, but in graphical view, so you get all the dependency aligned.
Yep,
The
yep.
dependency does no, goes away when it's completed. You get the job stream before, completed green, the other job stream completed green, and you can follow the whole flow. From a text-based in the definition, you don't get that.
No.
You know which is the sequence, but what happened to the first job? You
But
don't know.
if you've got
What happened to the second job? You don't know.
if you've got very complex predecessors, you can't see the wood from the trees in
You
plant
wanna?
view. You can't see the wood, what we say, the wood from the trees. We can't see, because you could have, let's say you had 30 or 40 dependencies. They are there in plan view. It's then hard to, again, it's the moving around of.
We did a lot of improvements on the job stream view to support those type of complex network scenarios. We are handling this type of views with lots of predecessors, lots of successors, rearrangement, the possibility to stop the dragging, the possibility to rearrange top to bottom in a view that enables you to see the flow correctly, to navigate the flow, to understand which are the incoming dependencies, outgoing dependencies. So I think that if you could check the job stream view, you would see that some of the requirements that you need might be already there.
Job stream view is really nice. I absolutely defend it. I use it all the time. And then being able to toggle between the two tabs makes it really easy to flip back and forth. But that said, I still want to see the output, the composer output.
The text.
Yeah, just because, I don't know, it's a safe, secure blanket. I've used it forever.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to, you know, we'll just embrace, you know, job stream view. We have veered away from it because of complexity. But we're happy to revisit, but obviously it's not just us, it's multiple people applying for this. So
Yeah.
There is weight behind that.
Anyway, I think we could also alternatives. I mean, we need to make some reflection on this.
Well, you put it into designer.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's an
another,
argument.
that's another topic. That's another topic.
That makes.
But there is that same argument that.
Not really, because composer definition inside modeling, for me, does not make sense, because you don't have the real information, because what you have in the definition is maybe completely different from what you have.
To the reality, yeah.
You may have run the job, you have released the dependency, you have added another dependency. So those.
It's not real time, is it?
It's not real time. Those could be completely different things. So. Having the information of the definition to be seen in the plan could be not really useful. The job stream view really address those things. The other topic is about composer inside the graphical design, but then we will look in the next topic.
Okay, so we need to continue the discussion
Yeah, I mean, we have to.
and then decide what we're going to put in the RFE.
Yeah, but of course we take into consideration these comments.
And the other
Yeah,
thing
right.
that's a little difficult is Composer's old, because now you have JSON output, now you have the other output formats that are available to you. So you're used to seeing Composer, but company down the road, they want to see it in JSON. You know, how do you get that? Now you go to the next thing and then the next thing. So I get it 100%, and I would love to see it.
Okay, so those were the top 6. So in summary, the DWC is a powerful interface. There's a lot of change going on at the moment. But one thing we do feel is that it's not as intuitive as it needs to be. And I think there needs to be some work on that side of things as well, because there are too many clicks. And from a customization point of view, there needs to be improvements on that side. But really the purpose of the exercise that these guys went through, I think, is worth its weight in gold. Yeah, it's having a customer go through the DWC and map it to what they need within their business and then share that with everyone, I think is absolutely fantastic. So thank you and well done for doing it. It's a great piece of work, and I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see other customers come forward and say, we're going through a similar exercise, or we're doing something that we'd like to share and get feedback from the rest of the community. And then we can feed that back to the development team. We're going to be raising at least 2 RFEs from this. And at the end of the day, it's your product. Let's get it doing what you want it to do. And those that are online, if anyone wants to share their experiences with the DWC or any other part of RWS, then Mark and I are more than happy to facilitate that. So thanks very much.